Hey everybody, how's it going? So, you guys have heard me say over and over and over again, don't mix on headphones, mix on monitors, because you're going to get better results. Well, Sennheiser reached out to me and said, well, hey, we've got a new set of headphones called the HD400 Pros, and we think they're a pretty cool way to mix on. Would you be interested in checking them out? And I'm like, hell yeah, send me a set. So they sent me a set of these, and these are an open back design, meaning you're not going to get the bass frequency build up like you would with a normal set of headphones. They also said that I should try these out with their virtual reality room simulator, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like that might be interesting. Let's try out a mix with these things and see if you can indeed mix with headphones. All right, so I'm over here at the desktop, got the HD400s, and yeah, they're an open back design, so they're meant for mixing on. And that's the thing, I just did that video last week, don't mix on headphones, get these Calis because they're awesome, and they are awesome. But Sennheiser's like, hey, check these out, and most importantly, check this out as well. This is the DearVR Mix. It's a virtual reality room simulator to work on your headphones. I'm going to get into that in a second, but I was just going to say, headphones are really cool. They're super comfortable. They've got these felt ear cups and headband, and they just go on no problem. And if you're sitting here for any amount of time, you're going to forget that you're wearing them, which is really cool. Now, of course, if you're working with an open back design, I mean, like if you're going to be, trying to mix a song on an airplane, you might not have the best of luck because you're going to get a lot of bleed and you might annoy the guy sitting next to you on your flight. So that might be a thing. But if you're at home, if you're at an apartment or you're sharing a spot with a bunch of roommates and you don't want to disturb everybody or you don't want to disturb your neighbors, especially if you're in an apartment and you're playing back the song over and over and over again endlessly, yeah, you know what? These might be a viable alternative. And when you couple them with the DearVR system, this is where it gets really interesting. Now, I've got this set up here on Reaper on the monitor effects window right here, and that's going straight to my headphones, but you guys won't be hearing what this is doing because this is set up for the headphones. You guys are going to be hearing the end result of the mix like anybody else would in the real world. What's going on here with the headphones is basically you set up the headphone compensation here. There's all kinds of little bit of adjustments you can make, and they recommend for mixing on headphones that you set up the focus to localized, and I've got the experience cranked up here a little bit. You can go neutral. You can crank it up a little bit, kind of play around with it to your taste. Now, one thing I'm noticing with this, it's almost the same as, say, taking a direct output of a guitar amp with a lot of distortion on it and putting an impulse response on it. You kick this on, it just immediately smooths the mix out, and it feels much more like you're sitting in a space because your sources aren't localized to just one ear. That's the big fatal flaw with headphones is if you're panning, you pan something over far left or far right, you're not going to get it in both ears like you would with a set of studio monitors. When you're working with a set of studio monitors, say you've got something panned over to your far left speaker, you're not just going to hear it in your left ear, you're also going to hear it in your right ear, not only coming from the speaker, but you're also going to hear it off the room reflections as well. And that gives us our 3D space, and that's how we localize a sound source. This software allows us to do exactly that same kind of thing and give us a very nice and flat frequency response so we can really hear just what the hell is going on. Once again, I don't have this applied to the mix you're hearing. You're hearing the final result, which is what you would want in the real world anyway. So I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to go for a mix here. We've got this set for mix room B. I kind of like that, but we've got a couple of different mix rooms to work with. Plus, we've got to check. We can check in the car, club, home theater, the kitchen, that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool, but I kind of like room B for this, and I'm not sure exactly what room they sampled to get this, but it seems to be doing the trick. Let's check this mix out. This is what I'm working on right now, and this has been dialed in just using the HD400 headphones. Interestingly enough, I'm not having a hard time hearing the bottom end with these, which is fantastic. That's where you're going to find headphones have really got the hardest time hearing what's going on is in the bottom end and the extreme bottom end, because a lot of times you're just kind of guessing. Once again, with the room simulator, with the ambience, it's sounding much more like a mix environment. Once I turn that off, I turn the monitor effects off, I hear a massive shift. Everything gets a little bit more brittle sounding. Everything gets a little bit more upfront and in your face. It's a little bit nastier, and I'd find I'd probably be EQing things a lot more severely in the top end, especially on the guitar frequencies. With the VR on, it's smooth. It sounds like I'm sitting in a control room. Kind of forget I'm just listening on headphones, which is great. And if you want to do that head rotation, you can. And it'll pan so you can move your head in a horizontal plane to get a better feel of your virtual setup. That's great. And that really does the trick. Now, for your guitar players out there, you guys are getting heavy tones and whatnot, this is actually a combination of 3 different amp sims all at the same time. So on the Guitar Bus 1, we have the STL Tonality Lossa Lambert with looks like a couple of greenback speakers. And then we're filling it in with the Grindstein from Audiority, which I reviewed a little while back. And for the speakers, I've got the Get Good cabs on there. With, I think, with one of Nolly's presets, and I just kind of tweaked it up a little bit there. But you combine the two, and it's like, damn! I really wanted to get away from the standard vintage 30 kind of guitar tone for this, and I think it works really well, especially when you get to those jackhammer rhythms right here. One of my favorite guitar tones of all time was Machine Head's Burn My Eyes, and that was a 5150 into a greenback cab. So you can definitely get some cool freaking sounds with that. And for the lead tone, we're using the Aurora Audio Rhino, which I demoed a while back as well, which is like only $50 and an absolutely killer program as well. But the fact is, I'm putting this mix together with bass, with everything. Just on headphones, that's absolutely killer. This is the thing. I promised there a couple of years ago I was going to try and do a video or two if I find some viable headphone systems. Now, I've done a couple of headphone reviews in the past, and it's always been just them on their own, but I think this is a real winner with the DearVR mix. I mean, it just kind of adds exactly what headphones have been lacking for the longest time. And the fact that it's designed to work with these headphones specifically is absolutely fantastic. I think Sennheiser's got a real winner on here. But you guys tell me, what do you think of the mix? Do you like how this turned out? Are you struggling to hear anything? Is anything overbearing in what you're listening to? Because I'm pretty happy with the results I've gotten so far. I think this might be an actual viable alternative to monitors. I think Sennheiser's really onto something, especially with the VR rooms. That really just kind of pushes things just to the next level, and I think that's absolutely tremendous. So if the HD400 Pros seem like the kind of solution that you're looking for, I'll have some links in the description below. Of course, you can find more information over on the Sennheiser website. I have some links to that as well. And if you want to check out the DearVR mix software, it'll be in the description below as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.